the Seahawks are awfully injured. They just lost to the Giants. Like the Niners, they haven't beaten anyone good. What are you expecting in this game?
Okay. Honestly, I don't know what to expect. I know people want to say, "Oh, what are Lowell and Grant going? Who are they going to pick?" I have no idea because I know the Niners are flawed. I don't know why they're flawed, but I know. I mean, they're 2-3 and they lost to crummy teams. They're flawed. The other team um, is flawed as well. I don't like the quarterback. I'm sorry. I know he tries so hard. I don't like him. I think they have a good head coach, Iggy. I think they have a pretty good defense, don't they?
Mm-hmm. I think they do.
And they have a good running back.
They do.
And I would say
Three good wide receivers.
3 teams worse than Seattle. 2 teams worse than Seattle have beaten the Niners, the Rams and the Cardinals. And Seattle is better than those 2 god-awful teams. So I would have to say I could see the Niners winning this game. I could also see them losing this game.
Yeah.
I could see them hanging in there, being up by 10 points going into the fourth quarter and folding, because that's what I've seen twice this season. So I'm thank God I'm not a betting man. I have no idea which of these 2 terribly flawed teams is going to prevail in a game against the 2 flaweds.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Seahawks are flawed, but they're not. They're a young team that's trying to find out who they are. They're not like an old team that's not cohesive. Like they're a team. The Niners. That's why it's hard to pick the Niners in any game. Like they're not a team. They could beat. I guess the Jets weren't a team either, right? They just fired their coach. The Patriots are a joke. I don't think the Seahawks are a joke. Where the Niners are, they're not a joke, but they're not a serious team right now. They're just a collection of talent.
Iggy, I think the Seahawks are the second best team that the Niners will face so far this season. Would you agree?
They're better than Arizona.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're better.
Better than
Arizona. Rams. Yeah. Arizona is very well coached. And boy, did they play. They played a heroic game against the Niners. And the Niners didn't play a particularly stout game. I could see the Seahawks beating the Niners. But I also could see the Niners, Purdy completing a lot of passes, get a moderate passes, not this long down the field stuff that he's not great at. And I could see Jordan Mason running for well over 100 yards and them winning. I could also see them not doing those things.
It'll be interesting to see if they do win the game, how they respond. Like when they beat the Patriots, Fred Warner lost his mind on the field and said they're back. And I mean, they really celebrated like they had proven that they had regained their standard. Then they promptly lost another game to a bad team. So if they do beat the Seahawks, which they should, I'd love to see how they respond to that. But I'm not just assuming they will.
Okay. I really respect Fred Warner from how I've seen him comport himself and from people I know who know him. I really respect him. When he said we're back, he was probably emotional at the moment. Because it was a frivolous thing to say. You beat New England and you're back. It's almost a joke line. It's a joke line. So he shouldn't have said it. And then the next week proved that they're not back. If they beat the Seahawks, it doesn't prove they're back.
Right.
Because after the Seahawks, who do they have?
This team called the Chiefs.
Yeah. If they beat the Chiefs, they're entitled to say they're back. But that's a horse of a different color.
That's a horse of a different color. Frank Tom Ocean says, best show of the week. Glad I caught it live. Yeah, glad you caught it live too, Frank Tom Ocean. Richard Evangelista says, oh, hold on. Mr. Blue Magic 23 says certain players have too much power in Kyle's culture.
I feel they do.
Yeah. Richard Evangelista says, what would Papa Cohn's assessment on bringing Bill or Rex Ryan as head coach?
The Ryans.
Grant, do you think the Niners should get rid of Sorensen?
Well, based on present performance, but you don't want to go near the Ryans. Hold on. Now you know what? I'm not gonna say.
Dave Barclay says Tom Brady would have given us 2 more rings.
Yep.
Mr. Blue Magic 23 says passed on Brady, Patty, kept Jimmy Garoppolo after drafting Trey. All of those things. Dave says, but Lyle couldn't work with Brady, Saleh, Rodgers. Juan Jimenez says, another sin having Brian Hoyer as a starting quarterback ever.
Probably that's a sin.
Gammon Brown says, Saleh lost the locker room with the Jets this year. How certain are we that he's the same leader he was in 2020? A lot of turnover on D since then.
It's true. I can't account for him.
Derek Dawson says, Holyfield versus Douglas was epic. He was only 205 and Douglas was 250. Talk about the heart and iron jaw, the punches he ate.
Well, he knocked him out with one right hand. What was it, in the second or third round? I was right at ringside for that.
Kevin A says, best show. Always look forward for it every week. Keep telling the truth about the Niners. Thank you, Kevin. Vance says, Kyle would run Mahomes between the tackles on 2nd and 8.